Welcome to another YouTube episode of Quest for Gear. Today we're going to be talking about my Tascam Model 24. And some of you who regularly watch my videos, some of you know the saga, the long saga of me buying them, selling them, buying them, selling them, trading them, buying them, selling them. I've had bad ones. I've had 5 or 6 bad ones. And I also do the same with the Zoom L20. I buy and I sell the Zoom L20. I buy and I sell the Zoom L20. I think most people will believe me that I've owned 7 technically Zoom L20s and something in the range of 10 or 11 Tascam Model 24s. I've actually lost track. Some of you guys don't believe me. Some of you believe me. You can see I got my Zoom L20 here back from a friend. Let's fire it up as I talk because it does a cool light show when you fire it up. And it is quite a story, quite a saga. There's a light show there. Anyway, some people don't believe me. They accuse me of, I don't know, I guess lying about it. They're just like, you don't own that many Zoom L20s and Tascam Model 24s. Well, I really have. If you don't believe me, I'm not gonna bend over. What do you want me to do? Line 10 of them? I don't own them all now, but I have owned them all. And the thing is you're missing the big story. The big story is about a guy in his basement trying to make records who can't make up his mind between being in the box, out of the box, in the box, out of the box. And I know it's a poor carpenter blames his tools, but when I have a bad session or I put out an album I don't like, I blame my tools. And I'm like, oh, it's because I was in the box. And, you guys know what in the box means. It means in a computer, a Mac or a PC with Reaper, Cubase, Sonar, Fruity Loops, Cool Edit Pro, Pro Tools, I don't know. What else is out there? Logic, GarageBand, In the box is in a computer box. And out the box, I guess, is anything else. I guess. These are loose terms. Tape, 4-track, Zoom handy recorder. And for me, out the box also means one of these things where you don't need a computer, where you can fire it up really fast and just start going. So I won't bore everybody if you are familiar with my saga, but I've owned like 10 or 11 Tascam Model 24s. Half of them were lemons. Half of them, okay? I don't care if you don't believe me. Well, actually, I do. I do care if you don't believe me, but I'm not going to. What am I supposed to do about that? You're like, well, we don't believe you. I'm like, okay, well, I can't line them all up, all the ones I owned in the past, and say, well, here's the Tascam Model 24 that, we can go through some of the stuff this crap does. Easily half of the ones I had didn't work. Okay. I've had where this strip here, Mike and I love recording myself. We tend to call this the useless channel. It's actually pretty useful. I call it the useless channel, but it's pretty useful because I hook my record player, my CD player. So that's this strip here. I've had that entire strip not work. I've had AUXes 1 and 2 not work. I've possibly had AUX 3 not work. It's possible that I was doing that wrong. AUX 3 and AUX 1 and 2 work differently. It has to do with what's post-fader and what's pre-fader. I've had the right output 20 decibels quieter than the left. What else have I had? I've had the compressor lights go nuts. I'm trying to think. You guys probably know. Oh, I've had them just dead. I've had Canada. Well, we'll get to what Canada Post does or doesn't do. And now I can't even remember. But anyway, half of the ones I've owned are lemons. Where do I get them? I bought a few used. It's funny. The used ones I bought from people were all fine. I haven't had a person, like a personal person on Kijiji or whatever, Reverb, sell me a lemon. I've just not had that. All the crappy ones I had were from Long & McQuade, which means Long & McQuade didn't go over them thoroughly. And they're hard to go over thoroughly because there's so many features to these things. There's so many AUXes, so many inputs, so many outputs. So all the lemons I bought, sincerely, like for real, I know this for sure. All the lemons I bought were from Long & McQuade and Amazon. Okay, so somebody is not thoroughly checking them all over. When I have driven 1 hour or 2 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours about as far as I've ever driven to pick one of these up from people from real people on Kijiji or Reverb or whatever, I've always got good ones. Okay. So if I've had 5 bad ones, I've had 5 good ones. So I currently, like I showed you, I had my Zoom back. So this is somewhat the story of a guy who can't decide whether he's in the box or out of the box. There's something about mouse, keyboard, monitor sitting in this chair with a guitar on my lap that I freaking hate. I just hate it. And I don't have to sell some of you guys on it. I don't have to sell Mike over at I Love Recording on that. He already knows. That's why he's the Tascam king on YouTube. The guy owns like frickin' 10 Tascams. He's got Porta Studios and Tascam Model 24 and videos galore. You want to know anything about Tascams, this is your guy. Tascam ought to be paying him. Anyway, you want to know anything about a big, is it a Sapphire board? Big boards and the Tascam Studio Bridge and the Porta Studio, you ask Numb Thumb over at Warhard Arts. These guys are already firmly out of the box. Do they know how to use computers? Oh, sure. They know how to use computers. They could turn on Reaper or Pro Tools or Logic just like anybody. They choose not to. And they're not the only 2 guys. There's other people on YouTube that are very good with a computer. They're just like, screw it. I'm not sitting in that chair with this mouse and this keyboard and this stupid monitor and going, let's make some music. Like, it's just absurd to sit here like an office you think Pink Floyd did that? You think Pete Townsend? Well, maybe now he does, but do you think the Beatles sat in front of a Mac with a keyboard? Well, maybe now they do. Maybe now if the Beatles were together, they would be sitting in front of this crap. There is something more nostalgic, romantic, efficient, bona fide, certified, amplified that I like about sitting in front of a tracker. So I had this at a friend's house for a long time, which is great because he did. I don't even know what are on these yet. I have to go through what he did. Basically, I lent it to him for a year and a half in the hopes that he would record, and record he did, which is fantastic. I have to go through what he's done here. And it's a good way for my friend and I to collaborate. But I had to go get them. I needed the machine for the weekend because it is such fast 16 inputs, right? And the Tascam Model 24 has all that too. What I don't like about the Tascam Model 24 is the split tracks. The Zoom L20, 16 individual tracks, and then you got 17, 18, 19, 20 are the split stereo. Tascam Model 24, the stereo start at 11, 12. I can't read that. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And I hate that. I hate split stereo tracks because it's less instruments you can record if you think about it. This isn't about comparing the Zoom L20 and the Tascam Model 24. This is me admitting. So, okay, let's go back a little bit. Some of you keen observers that watch my videos have started to notice the Tascam Model 24 is gone, right? And I've been a little bit embarrassed because, yes, I sold it again, okay? I'm just admitting it. Yes, I changed my mind again and sold it. Yes, I lost a little bit of money on it because I bought a used one on Amazon. I got a really good price on it. Of course, with reverb and the taxes and the Canadian socialist, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, and the insurance guy, like everybody with their hands out. Inflation is so hot and heavy in Canada. With the taxes so high and the shipping is so high, of course I lost money on it. Okay, I lose a little bit of money almost every time I make these flips on these units. Now, I make some okay money on some other stuff. If you can hold a guitar long enough, you can make a little money on it. Or a microphone, or a preamp. Like, not everything is eaten to death by inflation. But yes, I lose money on the Tascam Model 24s and the Zooms when I change my mind and sell them, and I've done it a lot, and I'm an idiot. We know this already, though. Some of you guys will even joke. It's really funny, actually, when, where is he here? Mirage. It's Mirage at Mirage69. He'll put just randomly in the comments, he'll go, hey, Quest for Gear, sell your Tascam again. That's my kind of humor. I actually think it's funny that he's burning me like that. And burn me he does. I mean, he's like, sell the Tascam again. Yeah, I know, dude. I know. I'm an idiot. We know that. That's established. It does come across, it does come down to I sit down to have a session with myself or with another band or a voiceover person or whatever we're doing. And if I don't enjoy myself, I instantly blame the tools. If I didn't enjoy myself on a session of the Tascam, then the Tascam's fault. If I didn't enjoy myself on a session with the Zoom L20, well, then it must be the Zoom L20's fault. I don't enjoy myself on a Mac Reaper session, well, then it must be the Mac Reaper session. I can't get happy. I don't know if I'm diagnosable or something. If I could sit down on a couch and some therapist could tell me why I do the things I do. All I know is we've arrived here. Some of you folks have started to notice the Tascam Model 24 is missing. I was pretty embarrassed to come out and just make a video on that, but here we are. You know, you guys are like, where's the Tascam Model 24? And I just didn't say anything. Oh, you got the Zoom back. Yes, I have the Zoom back. Let me tell you, so I bought the Tascam Model 24 again this year. Of course I did. I probably bought it twice again this year. I got a great deal on one on Amazon, refurb. I got it home. It was flawless. Nothing wrong with it. Perfect specimen. I took it out to a band's house, did a recording. It was fine. I brought it back here, but you know, it sat here like a big fat behemoth on my desk. I was like, I'm just not using it. Oh, and then I put out that album, Wages of War, and I wasn't happy with how that sounded, and I think it's because I rushed the mix, and I blame the Tascam Model 24 for that. This is the album I put out, Wages of War. You can find that on Spotify or YouTube or whatever if you're into indie rock. It's kind of like Circus Devils or Guided by Voices. At least I like to think that it is. Anyway, I was like, and again, it wasn't the Tascam Model 24's fault. It's like, why am I mixing on a Tascam Model 24, like vintage old school style, when I have all these tools with Waves plugins and Universal Audio plugins and what else? SoftTube, you know, and this stuff ultimately ends up on a computer before it, you know, as a pre-master. So why don't I just work on this stuff back in the box? Of course, I get back in the box and I start to miss it. So I go up to my buddy's place and I grab the Zoom. So now again, I have the best of both worlds. Also, I had done a little, not a live, but a video here where I sat here and I played guitar on this webcam. And I put that video out. I think it was called like Batman Plays Guided by Voices' song, Jar of Cardinals. And I realized that I could put on a bigger live production. I could do a live show on YouTube if I had a mixer, because mixers are so fast. This mixer's so fast to use in a live. I mean, this is what this Zoom L20 is all about, is live mixing, right? It literally is in the name, a live track L20. So I was like, I need the best of both worlds. But I did start to beef up my my rack, anticipating being back in the box. That's why I bought the Claret, if you guys have been watching that story. I bought this this Claret, which turned out to be a lemon. It's got to go back. This Scarlet Claret 8 Pre. So it's like, I'm going to beef up the rack. I'm going back in the box. I'm going to sell a Tascam Model 24, which I now admit. I didn't lie. I just, when you guys were like, where's the Tascam? I was just like, oh, geez, let's talk about something else. You know, like it was embarrassing. I didn't want to say I sold it again, but now I'm telling you I sold it again. Now, if you watch the channel, you may recall Canada Post smashed one and did not make good on the insurance. When I buy, sell, flip gear weekly, as I have done for years, I'm at Canada Post all the time, except for them idiots are striking because they always want more money, right? They got the greatest vacation, the greatest pension, the greatest benefits, okay jobs, the greatest of everything, but they could always use a little bit more. They'd always just want a little bit more. So they go on strike at Christmas, and then they go on strike again in the middle of the year. And every time they go on strike, the world realizes they need Canada Post less. We all get our bills delivered via email now, and it really hurts them because every time they go on strike, we all figure out ways around them. So this last strike, I was sending stuff out UPS and Pure Later. And what else is there? DHL and Dragonfly and all these other things. I think those are Amazon services. But you get the point. There's other vendors when Canada Strike pulls their greedy shenanigans. Anyway, Oh man, now I'm way down the rabbit hole. I can't remember what I was talking about. Okay, so you may recall Canada Post smashed one Tascam Model 24. I always buy the insurance, okay? I have paid since 2018, I've paid thousands of insurance, thousands of insurance. According to me and according to other people that have been in my situation, I'll tell you now, that Canada Post insurance ain't worth a damn. It's not real. They don't honor it, okay? So the Tascam Model 24 that I'd sent up to Hamilton that got smashed, they didn't honor it. And I've had other gear too, not just the Tascam. I've had other gear smashed by Canada Post. You pay that insurance, they don't honor it. You have to fight and email and send photos and fill out forms. They do not honor it. And I've talked to other music stores and they go, yep, you'll never win that fight. Canada Post will not honor insurance. They don't. So I sell this Tascam Model 24. It's got to go out to British Columbia. And they say, do you want insurance? And I said, yes, knowing that they wouldn't honor it. Okay, I knew they wouldn't honor it, but I did the insurance anyway. $1,000. I put $1,000 or $1,600, something like that. But I knew they wouldn't honor it, and in my gut, I knew somehow. I don't know if I'm tapped into the matrix or I'm having some psychic premonition. I knew they'd smash it. I just knew. Canada Post was going to smash another one on me. So let me show you. This is like showing you the frickin' a car accident or something. Like, this is just brutal. I hate to see gear in this state. It's heartbreaking. But let me show you my Model 24. How's that look? It's disgusting, right? Disgusting. I just want to tell you that I shipped it in the official Tascam box, double boxed. The box that these things come over from Japan or wherever, I think it's Japan. That's the box I shipped it. It is all styrofoam, packed properly. Disgusting, right? How hard did Canada Post hit that to do that? Let's see another picture. So the fader to the extreme left and the fader to the extreme right, both off. Let's see another picture. It's disgusting. I feel like I'm showing you a picture of one of my kids in a hospital bed. All right, let's do another one. All right. So absolutely disgusting that Canada Post does this stuff and the insurance. So I didn't try, but I'll tell you, I've been down this dance before. So the guy I sold it to in BC is super cool. He showed me. I said, dude, I packed it in the box it comes in. He goes, no. He goes, I know. He goes, it's not that you didn't pack it right. He goes, but here we are. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm screwed, my friend. I told him, I guess I'm screwed. I guess you're going to send this back. I'm going to have to pay you $85 to send it back to me. I've already paid the $85 to send it to him. I'm going to have to pay another $85. And then I'm going to be the owner of a messed up Tascam Model 24. And this guy was super cool. I don't know if... I'd say it sounds like he has a lot of money, but why would a guy with a lot of money be buying used Tascams from me? I guess because I sold it to him for $1,600 and he could have got one for $2,200, right? They're now $2,200 Canadian due to the inflation and fake tariffs and fake economy and fake inflation and fake everything. He's cool though. He's like, well, I'm going to source some faders and I'm going to source a guy in British Columbia and I'm just going to have it fixed. And I'm like, well, dude, I could just give you your money back and you could send it back to me, which on my dime, and then it's my problem. And I've started calling around local people too. Of course, it all ties up to this Ericsson Audio, which I've had nothing but trouble with. Ericsson Audio is like a repair depot for this crap in Canada. I've had not just this, but I'm pretty sure the Heritage Audio stuff too they do, and I've had nothing but problems with them guys. When I hear Ericsson Audio, I'm like, well, I'm screwed then. I guess I'm just screwed. But he's found a repair guy local, like in his neighborhood, and he's also sourced the faders from multiple sources. Tascam didn't have faders. How do you like that? Tascam didn't have any Tascam faders. What kind of a kick in the rear is that Tascam doesn't have Tascam faders? Anyway, screw Tascam. This dude found 2 sources of faders. Apparently, they're all stereo faders, just so you know. It doesn't matter if you broke the red one or the white one, they're all stereo faders. This guy's sourced 2 faders. I'm pretty sure they're stereo faders. I'm pretty sure he said they're only like $9 a pop. Okay. So I said, dude, whatever you order, obviously I'm paying for it. This is all coming out of my pocket. I have to refund this guy, whatever this comes out to. I said, whatever you do, get extra faders. He goes, yeah. He goes, good idea. Because, if company A doesn't ship or is late, then, let's order some from company B. So he's ordered faders from 2 different companies. I contacted a local guy, local to my city, who's found faders, not at Tascam. Tascam doesn't have Tascam faders. You bunch of idiots. Why wouldn't Tascam stock parts for their own stuff? Anyway, idiots. All right, so my local guy can also get faders. This is the plan. This guy's going to have these faders brought in. Somebody's going to take the whole damn Tascam Model 24 apart. And that's what we're going to do. Oh, Chewy wants in. So, I don't know. The guy decided to go that route with it. He's a nice guy. And, oh, my alarm's going off. Shoot. Come here, Chewy. Come on. Hurry up. My dang alarm's going off. That'll stop in a minute. Well, I guess that's it. So, it's not that the Tascam Model 24 isn't a good machine if you can get a working one. I know lots of guys are like, mine works fine. It's like, yeah, well, buy 10 of them and 50% won't. According to my stats, you're lying. Well, what a lame lie. Really, I'm making, that's the story I'm making up? What a lame story for me to make up. But anyway, well, I guess it feels good to come clean that, yes, I did sell my Tascam Model 24 again. Yes, I have my Zoom L20 back. It's been pretty fun. It's a fun machine. Yes, my Scarlett, I just de-racked my Scarlett Claret. It was right here. I do have the 2i2, but, I need lots of inputs and outputs down here. I'm going to keep working on this song with Mike at I Love Recording, who's on YouTube hiatus, I think, and Numb Thumb or Heart Arts. We're going to keep working on this song. So I'm going to do a little recording. I don't know. If I need more than 3 channels, then I'll have to be with the Zoom, which is fine. I may do a whole album on the Zoom. Just call it the Zoom album. So we can find out if there's a sound to the Zoom album. The Zoom to me sounds clean, pristine, sterile. It sounds clean and pristine, but there's really nothing, there's no oomph or mojo to the preamps. Whereas, the Universal Audio, it has that unison technology where you can make it sound a little bit like an LA610 or a Neve or a Helios or whatever. The Tascam Model 24 definitely had a sound. It put a warmth, a fuzz around everything you recorded, but you really gotta like that sound. In fact, on my album, Wages of War, I know what songs I recorded with the Tascam, and I can hear the Tascam on them. If you're ever listening to this album on Spotify, Peggy Messino was done almost entirely on the Tascam. So was On Fleek. And those are the only 2 for sure that I can say were entirely Tascam songs. Peggy Messino and On Fleek. I can hear the Tascam warmness on those 2 tracks. Now, that's not to say that if you guys set up a blind test for me and you're like, I recorded 10 songs, 2 of them are on the Tascam, can you pick them out? No, I'm not saying that I could do that. I'm just saying, excuse me, but I know on my album which 2 I recorded on the Tascam. I can totally hear the Tascam's analog warm fuzziness on those songs. So anyway, nice to come clean and let you guys know, yeah, you guys, you caught me. You guys going, where's your Tascam? Yeah, I sold it. I'm an idiot. I know. Will I buy another one? Well, I'm not going to say no. You guys know me. You know what I'm like. You know what I do. Anyway, Quest for Gear. Like and subscribe if you feel like it.